Hello, today I'm going to try to install in FreeBSD 13.2, which is the latest and newest release, kdesrc-build. So for that, we go to the KDE community's website, get involved, development. Let's look at the steps that are required in order to set up kdesrc-build for FreeBSD. So says operating system. The recommended ones are the new versions of Linux distributions, and I'm going to try with FreeBSD. Okay, setting up the development environment. We set up kdesrc-build not for Qt5 but for Qt6, which is an advanced topic. So using FreeBSD for kdesrc-build is an advanced topic, and using Qt6 for kdesrc-build is also an advanced topic. Okay. I'm not sure what steps are required here. Let's open a terminal. So I'm going to use the right half of the screen as documentation, the left half of the screen as work. I'm going to probably have terminals open in the left hand side of the screen and wiki pages and other documentation in the right hand side of the screen. Okay. So it says I should install some of these packages, so let's do that. Package install git cmake. I'm going to also need git GUI, git k. No package, okay. Source profile. No git k, no git GUI. ktcl, tk, git GUI, cmake. Proceed with this action, yes. Do we have a page for FreeBSD? Let's see. Okay. So we're at here. We might need dialog. We do not need dialog. Perl. How do I tell you to install many Perl modules? Many Perl modules are already installed, so Perl is certainly installed. Extra CMake modules. Breezy, what's Breezy? This should be it. I'm not going to configure Git because I do not write using Git, I'm reading using Git. From the KDE's GitLab instance at invent.kdE.org. So that was step 1 out of 6. Now step 2 out of 6. We're going to be downloading the KDE Git repository for kdesrc-build. So let's do that. I'm going to need a bash.rc file. How do I do that? Environment variables are conventionally placed in tilde/.profile. Yes, they are, but they're not used. If the file /etc/profile does not exist, not sure. How do we source in bashrc? This thing, okay, we can source. So emacs tilde/dot, yeah, cd pwd emacs tilde/dot bashrc. Okay, source. tilde/dot. Control D. It becomes super. Okay. And reach package. And now it works. We need to do the same thing. cd pwd next tilde/dot bashrc source tilde/dot. Okay. Back to where we were. Control L, ls -la. So we have a bashrc. We have a dot profile. Maybe this is the problem. .src file. And okay, so let's do it. This long 3-line command. Okay, initial setup. Wants to install Perl 5 module, Python boost cmake, doxygen, eigengetest, GNU make. Does not say what C++ compiler. We ran into an error with the installer package command not found. And we're back to where we started. Let me fix this problem where bash is not configured correctly. Okay, so I did the needed changes, which is for the user root, there should be a bash rc file, which just sources tilde/.profile, and tilde/.profile specifies the path environment variable for the user root, and is correct. Then for my non-root user, which is called administrator, there should exist a bash rc file, which just sources the tilde/.profile file, and then the tilde/.profile file should also set the path environment variable. So this line was commented out, and I've uncommented it. Okay, so that was what was needed. And now, when I start console the terminal, it automatically starts bash, which is my default shell both for the user root and for the user administrator. And now package is in path. Both for the user administrator and for the user root. Okay. Let's continue with where we were. Web browser in incognito mode, private browsing, kd.org, hamburger menu, get involved, development. We're at step 2. So this step failed. Ctrl-Shift-D, WD, copy, Ctrl-Shift-V. Yeah, we're in the wrong directory, so we should be here. KDE source and kdesrc-build. It wants to install packages for FreeBSD 13.2. Requires the password for sudo. I have installed sudo. It's downloading 52 packages. Most of the Qt5. Wayland protocols. Ninja M4. Python Boost, Oxygen, FreeTDS. Get text, gmake. I still do not know which C++ compiler is going to be used. Probably clang++ or G++. No clang. Oh, Clang plus 15. Okay. So it has downloaded and installed 52 FreeBSD packages. Asks me if I want to edit bashrc. In bashrc it will prepend the directory where the KDE repository kdesrc-build was cloned. Will be prepended to the path environment variable. And yeah, that's a good idea. I'll need to source bashrc. Okay, make sure kdesrc-build is in the path. It is. Let's look at the environment variable path. So this is where I git clone the KDE git repository kdesrc-build. Everything looks okay until now. Okay, now we want to say don't use Qt5, use Qt6. How do we do that? Okay, so let's go this route. Kate. Let's edit this configuration file for kdesrc-build. It should say all files should be 6. Control R, 6. Once, twice. Not this. Okay, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this. So everything except the num course and num course low mem. Control S. This should be a debug thing. Control V, Control S. So I need to install Qt6. Let's see, how do I get Qt6? So package search Qt6. Okay. Metaport Qt6, this thing. So package install Qt6. Hopefully nothing explodes. Let's start some nodes. So kdesrc-build Qt6 FreeBSD. Package install qt6. Let me also build the rest of the qt6 packages from source. So qt6, we're getting it from FreeBSD packages, but packages that use qt6 and are not part of KDE should be built from source. And these are these ones. Okay. Ctrl-C, Ctrl-N, Ctrl-O, Ctrl-V. Let's see how we can install all of these things. We don't really need to install anything. This will be built as needed. Okay, looks okay. Okay. What else do we need? We can start building. Not as root. No. Okay, Ctrl-Shift-T, kdesrc, build, I know, frameworks. Duplicate module declaration, lib gpg error. Okay, so this file is already included somewhere. Okay, so we do not need to uncomment this file. This line. It's cloning sysadmin repo metadata, which is the first KDE Git repository that gets cloned, and then using the information from the KDE Git repository sysadmin repo metadata, it knows the dependencies between KDE Git repositories. There's more than 600 KDE Git repositories, so it's going to build all of the repositories, all of the KDE Git repositories from the group frameworks, which is in kdesrc-build speak named a module set. So the module set contains 81 KDE Git repositories. The first one is ECM, then kcore add-ons, which is a KDE framework version 6. It uses does not say which Git branch is being used, but I'm guessing it's master. Let's look again at the fact that we're actually setting kf6-qt6 as the branch group, which we do. Stop on failure is set to true. Okay, so that's it. We have liftoff. So Qt6 was installed correctly using packages from FreeBSD 13.2, and then the rest of the packages are going to be built from source. So KDE Git repositories and other packages which use Qt6 and are required by KDE Git repositories. And the packages that are needed by KDE Git repositories are not part of KDE Git repositories and do not require Qt6 were already installed when we ran kdesrc-build space -- initial setup. Okay, so kwidgets add-ons from frameworks, package 6 out of 81. kdesrc-build has detected the correct number of cores to use, which is 15. I have enough random access memory in order to use 15 vCPUs. I see that a nproc exists. And is part of base, which is really great because I do not need workarounds of previous versions of FreeBSD, so before 13.2 did not have nproc. And nproc is used by kdesrc-build in order to determine the number of CPU cores to be used on line 37 in the kdesrc-build RC configuration file. Okay, so everything is working way simpler than I thought it would. So I only need to install package install Qt6 and then follow this mini chapter, which says that we should set up kdesrc-build using the setup kdesrc-build procedure, which is the parent wiki page, this one. And we need to make sure that we have branch -group kf6-qt6 in here, the configuration file, which we did. And then I replaced all of the 5s with 6s, except here and here. Then this line used to look like this, and I've replaced it with this. Okay, I did not need to comment out or uncomment anything else. We should add a bit of instructions for FreeBSD how to set up kdesrc-build, because we need to say that FreeBSD requires sudo. So we need to package install sudo and then vsudo configure such that all of the user in the group wheel can use sudo. Okay, so it has built KDE Git repositories, these ones from the group frameworks, and it tried to build gpgme, which is a library which is not part of KDE, but it uses Qt6, so we need to build it from source. Use of uninitialized value result in numeric AQ. Okay, so this module failed, and kdesrc-build is configured to stop on failure. So it will stop after it finishes git cloning all of the 81 Git repositories. There's two threads of work in kdesrc-build. One is git cloning all of the necessary 81 Git repositories. The other is building the Git repositories in the correct order, one by one. So this is a virtual machine running FreeBSD 13.2. I have set up, I have installed KDE. I'm connecting to the virtual machine using the remote desktop protocol, using the XRDP server and XFreeRDP client. I have set up the KDE build framework, which is called kdesrc-build. I have configured kdesrc-build for KDE Frameworks 6 and Qt6. And I have tried to build all of the KDE Frameworks 6, and it failed because I cannot build gpgme, which is a Git repository that's not part of KDE, but does use Qt6, so we need to build this from source. The issue is in configure, so configure cannot find Qt6. Okay, let's try to ignore this repository gpgme and try to build everything else. So for that, we're going to change the configuration file of kdesrc-build, and I'm going to say stop on failure false. Control S, and I'm going to start building using kdesrc-build. Let's go frameworks first. unable to find meson. Okay, let's try to find meson. Ctrl-Shift-T. Sudo su package search meson. Package install meson. I want to continue. Okay, let's see now. What does it do? kdesrc-build updater, build monitor, git fetch. For some reason it moves extremely slowly. Git fetch tags original. I'll be back after it finishes. Okay, I'm back. So while using kdesrc-build, it's a good idea to make sure that all your hardware resources are used to the maximum. So this virtual machine has 15 CPU cores, and using KDE System Monitor I can see when all of my cores are used and when not. I can see that compiling actually uses 15 vCPU cores, whereas the git fetch operation should use the network interface card to its maximum possibility. And for that I'm using the command line sysstat space -ifstat. So this thing. Previously, the speed of git fetches was really slow, and I guess that was because of the GitLab instance from KDE, invent.kdE.org. Maybe this website was very slow 1 hour ago, but now it seems to be moving way better. I'll be back once it finishes building. So just gpgme failed to build, but then the many other KDE Frameworks version 6 did build successfully. I'm at framework 35 out of 80. None of the KDE Kit repositories failed to build because I couldn't build gpgme yet. I'll be back once it is closer to finishing building all of the KDE Frameworks version 6 modules. Okay, so Git operations take a huge while to download. I'm just not going to wait for all the frameworks to build. So build times are okay when the CPUs are used and code is compiled. There's no problems there, but the Git operations that come before building take tens of minutes. Okay, so except the Git speed issue and some modules not building, such as K-Wayland and gpgme, the things really look really good for the latest version of FreeBSD and kdesrc-build for Qt6 and KDE Frameworks 6. Let's try to build an application. Okay, so these are not even git fetch, git clone. It's not even downloading the entire Git repository. It's just making sure that the local Git repository and the remote Git repository are in sync. So it does some, I know, git fetch, git rebase, git stash, nothing super complicated. But still, when it needs to go across the network, it takes forever. If I say kdesrc-build and I give the parameter --no src, which does not run git at all, that has a the normal speed, which is really fast because everything was already compiled. Okay, now I told it to build just kcalc, no other Git repository, but still it's going to do Git operations for sysadmin repo metadata, which is a KDE Git repository, and for the KDE Git repository kcalc. Okay, it finished building. Let's see how it runs. So Qt642, which comes from FreeBSD packages, and the latest version of KDE Frameworks built from the Git repository using kdesrc-build, the build framework. So this is it. Most of the things work okay. The biggest problems again are Git speed issues, and then some Git repositories do not build yet. Thank you.